What's up? This is Kong from XFaderz, and in this video, I'll walk you through on how to set up file sync in OS X. If you need assistance setting up Time Machine with a network attached storage device, then check out this video in the top right hand corner. It'll help you out through that process. But if you need to sync up two folders or a series of folders that you need complete control over, you can do that by using this software here called FreeFileSync. I am not sponsored by or affiliated with FreeFileSync, but I can tell you from my experience, this is the best software that I've used to sync up my folders, specifically my music. So if you find this software helpful for you as well, please consider supporting the developer by donating. So with all of that out of the way, I want to explain to you why I use FreeFileSync. The purpose of this software is to keep my MP3 or my music collection in check. So what happens is I DJ off of one primary machine. And when I make different edits or I make cue point changes or add or remove music, that is saved to my Synology device, my network attached storage. Now from there, I share that music out to the rest of my machines. So what this software does is allow me to sync that folder that's stored on the NAS or on the primary DJing computer to the physical computer that I'm working with at the moment. So this process or workflow will eliminate the copying and pasting and wondering if all your music was copied over correctly or if everything was there to begin with. So all I have to do is simply click the sync button and everything will be synced up between all the computers that I'm using. And it will provide a log file on what was updated. So once you download the software and install it, you'll be greeted with this window here. It looks like a lot, but just bear with me, I'll walk you through everything for the most part. So the first thing you'll be greeted with is setting up the folders that you would like to sync. So what I did first was browse for the Showtime folder, which holds the music for my DVS software, and select that folder. And once you do that, the next folder that you'll select is the Synology, so the network attached storage folder that you would like to sync it with. The next thing that you're able to do is click on the filter section. So at the beginning, you can actually filter and include and exclude certain file types and extensions, stuff like that. You can choose the comparison section where we'll give you details about the files that are there and compare and identify the changes. And then last but not least, you can do synchronization, whether it's two-way, mirrored, update, or custom. A lot of these options are personal preference, so please make sure you take the time to understand what each one does. Like for example, the delete files, do you want them to go to the recycling bin, or do you want it to be permanent, or do you want to do versioning? So these things you'll sort of have to decide for yourself. But for context, I will provide a scenario that will help you out to get started. So let's say for instance that you have two folders that you need to sync, but you're starting off with an empty folder. So for example here, I'll take the Showtime folder and I'll delete all the songs inside of there. So all of the songs that I have is still on the Synology, but I just want to load all of those songs to the local machine in the local Showtime folder. Now that the folder is empty, I can actually go back to the FreeFileSync and hit compare. Now as you can see, it's scanning through all the songs and it noticed that nothing is in the local Showtime folder and everything is in the Showtime Synology. And also too, there is a trash can there with a minus. So because they're both set up to sync, two-way sync, it wants to delete all the files in the Synology as well. So this will require me to go into the settings, the synchronize settings, and make that change so that it dumps those files back to that folder. If you need more assistance with the decision-making process, just visit the website. They have great video tutorials as well as a good manual where they lay out everything that you need to know, as well as tips and tricks to use the software. So the first thing I'll do is go back into the synchronization settings. And for the moment, I'll switch it over to mirror just so you can see that it gives you the options or the actions to sync in which direction. Now, as I change these, it will actually switch over to a custom setting. So as I click these options, or at least as I go over each one, it tells you what it does. So update right item, update right item. But because all the music is actually on the Synology, I want to transfer that music back to the local hard drive. And as you can see, here's a trash can with the minus. If I click on it, it will switch to a left-hand arrow stating that it's going to send that music over to the local hard drive. Same thing, if there's any recent changes on the Synology, it will send that as well over to the local hard drive. When I return to the default screen, now you see there is that left arrow with the plus sign. So that says that it will copy that information over to the physical hard drive. Also too, a quick report will show up stating that 142 files will be transferred over at a total of 1.17 gigabytes. So once I go ahead and hit the start button, it'll initiate the transfer. Once I'm confident and satisfied with the results, I can go ahead and save this configuration. As you can see, I just clicked to compare and there's no files to synchronize because everything is up to date. But now I want to set this up to run automatically. So the software will allow you to create an unattended script that you can run through OS X. First, I will go ahead and save the current configuration so I can refer to it later. So I'll just hit save here, and the save as section, just change it to a name so you can easily recognize it. Next up, you'll go up to the top and you can click on File, and where at the bottom it says Save as Batch Job, you can go ahead and click that. There's also a button for that right next to the Save button in the primary window. But once you have it, the window will come up here. All you need to do is make sure that you check the box that says Show Error Message. You can change those other settings if you don't want to see the error messages or you want to run minimize, stuff like that. But it's just to get you started. And just hit Save As. And what I did was add it to the end of it, parentheses auto. Both of these files can be found within the Documents folder. If you just go through the Finder and navigate to your Documents folder, you can actually pull them up. Leave this window open so you can drag and drop this file into the Automator. So to bring up the Automator, all you have to do is go up to the top, very top, and you'll see a magnifying glass. Once you click on it, it will bring up the Spotlight search, and you can proceed to type in Auto, and it will pop up for you as one of the top hits. So go ahead and click on that application. Once it opens up, you'll be greeted with the following screen. What you'll need to do is click on the calendar alarm. And once that is selected, you will grab the Showtime Backup Auto and drag and drop that inside of the window. You don't need to make any additional changes or anything, but next what you'll have to do is go down to the Files and Folders and select the Open Finder items. And simply drag and drop that into the window. And that's pretty much it. Now you'll just save this and it will save as a calendar alert or event. And make sure the name is easily recognizable. So I just went with Showtime Backup Auto again. So this is what will actually show up on your calendar. And once you hit save, give it a second and it will show up. It will also automatically run your backup again. And because there were no changes to be made, it went through very fast. And this is the log file where it just shows the comparison and no changes were found. So just to recap, we set up an automated event and it's been added to your calendar. Now we'll go ahead and make changes to the frequency of when this backup is done. So just closing out all the windows here, and once you click on that event, it will give you more options to be able to change it to daily or weekly, stuff like that. So it's completely up to you how you want to set up the backup. There's no rule of thumb or there's no definitive guidance on when you should back up your music, but it just depends on how many changes you're making. So if you find yourself DJing every day, then I would say probably do it daily, late at night if your computers are still connected. For me, I just simply set it to once every week. There's a lot of other devices that are synced up that I use, so it's not a big thing for me to set this as frequent as I use my my primary desktop or my primary DJing workstation. And like with any calendar event, you have the option to delete it. So if you find that this is not working out for you, you can definitely just click on it and hit delete. You will have to go through the Automator process again, but I think you should be comfortable with that process going forward. And here they just give me the option to delete all events, so just delete this only event. If you made it to the end, hopefully you were able to set up this whole process to sync your folders as well as set up a calendar date. If you have any questions, leave me some comments in the comments section. I'll try and get to them as soon as possible. But if not, hope everybody's having a good day or night, and I'll catch you in the next one.